Hey kids, it's Mrs. Compton, and guess what? Today we're going to do the Chapter 1 review test, but I figure you probably don't want to listen to me for 6 pages worth of stuff. So let's do some of the questions. So I've highlighted, see here how I've highlighted question 1 and then question 2, part A. I'll be doing the highlighted questions, and then I think I'm just going to do the first part of this review, and then I'll make a second video for the second part. That way we can break it up a little bit. All right, so let's get started. This is page 39 of your workbook. I hope you have your book and not just looking at my screen here, right? Because you're going to do this with me. All right, so it says select a number for the gray square that will make a true comparison. Mark all that apply. All right, so I am going to think about this number right here, 703,209. And I know that that number has to be greater than whatever number I choose. So then, in essence, the number I choose has to be less. All right. So kids, right now, I want you to think about what numbers could you knock off the list right away? What numbers are definitely not less than 703,209. Take a moment to think. All right, so right away I see E has 730,029, so I know right away I can knock that one off. And then same thing for F. There it goes. Let's see. Now the rest of my choices, I see 702,309. Well, actually, I know right away that is going to be an answer. Because if I write that in, 702,309, and I read it back to myself, I'm listening to make sure it makes sense. 703,209 is greater than 702,309. Okay, so that makes sense to me, so I did choose A. All right, now I still have to pick more numbers because it says choose all that applies, so let's see. This one says 703,029. So I think that's right. I'm going to put my target number, this number right here, 703,209. I'm going to write it over here under my place value chart. And I'm just going to write the other one down below so that I can compare it because they're kind of similar. Okay. So I need to make sure that this number is actually less than this number here. So 703,000 is the same on both of the numbers right here. But then in the hundreds place, I have a 0 and a 2. So this number is in fact, less than the target number, 703,209. So I'm going to choose that one as well. Okay. All right. So I'm going to erase this number here, and I'm going to try out the next two. So I've got 703,200. Wait a minute. That's the exact same number. So this one is out because it wouldn't be less than if it's the exact same. It would be equal. Okay, so then the other one is, please hold. The other one is 703,290. All right, so the hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000s columns are all the same. But the tens column has a 9 in it. So I know that one's going to be worth more. So that one's out because I need my number to be worth less. All right. I'm going to erase that. Let's check out number 2, part A. Read it to yourself. All right. So, Nancy, you only used each digit exactly once. We have to make the greatest number we can. So what's your strategy? I hope you're not like drawing arrows like this, put that one there and that one there. Your teachers will not be able to make any sense of that, and neither will you. So we want to practice our organization. So I think I'm going to look and kind of put an X underneath each one as I go. So I'm going to choose my greatest number, or excuse me, greatest digit, which is 9. And then I'm going to go for my next greatest digit, 8. Whoops. Okay, now I'm going to put my comma in. Okay, so my number here is 985,431. But there's a second part of this question. It says, how do you know this is the greatest possible number? Well, you'll have to explain your strategy. Mine was, whoops. Mine was, I arranged the digits in order from greatest to least. Arrange the digits from greatest to least. Okay. Now, I'm not going to do part B because part B is related to part A. So if you followed along for part A, you can do part B. All right, let's move on. All right, go to the second page. All right. So you can see I've highlighted numbers 3 and 5. Those are the only ones we're doing on this page. So you can do the other ones that we skip over. Make sure you do it. And you can always just hit pause, okay? So we can kind of keep on together. All right. So for numbers 3 and 4, we have to use the table. So take a moment to look over the table. All right, sweet. I see it's all about US mountain peaks. And there's lots of mountain peaks here that I've heard about. I wish I'd climbed them all, but I haven't. Not even one. All right. Number 3. Write the name of each mountain peak in the box that describes its height in feet. Okay. So I'm looking for mountain feet that are between 14,000 feet and 14,300. All right. So I'm going to just do that part first. So if it's over 14,300, I'm counting it out for this one. All right. Why don't you do yours and I'll do mine and then we can kind of compare notes. We'll come back together. All right. So here we go. Okay. I wrote mine. You wrote yours. Let's compare. Do you have Creststone, Humboldt, and White Mountains for the mountains that are between 14,000 and 14,300? Okay. And you have Blanca Peak, Mount Whitney, and University Peak for the ones that are between 14,300 and 14,500. All right. If so, you nailed it. Now we have to circle the name of the tallest peak for the next question. So let's check that out. I'm going to just ignore these over here. Why even bother looking at those? Because I know they're less than the other ones. So I'm only going to look at Blanca, Mount Whitney, and University. All right, so I'm just going to put a little circle here around Blanca and then Mount Whitney and then University. Okay, so we have to compare those and find out which one's the greatest. All right, take a moment. Figure out which one you think is the greatest. Okay. I wrote each of the mountains numbers on the side there, so I'm just going to compare. I automatically see that they all have 14,000. So that's the same. But I'm looking for the tallest one. So now I'm going to the hundreds column, and I see I have a 3, a 4, and a 4. Well, 3 is less than 4, so that one's out. Bye, Blanca Peak. Not you. You're not the tallest. All right, so now I'm going to compare the tens column, and I have a 9 and a 7. So the one with the 9 is the greatest number because the rest of the digits up ahead were all the same. So that means this one's out and you are it. So this number, 14,494, went with Mount Whitney. So Mount Whitney is the tallest. Uh-oh, we've got to do the explain piece again. So you'll have to explain how you knew. I compared place values. You should be writing complete sentences to explain. I don't want to have you sit here and watch me write a sentence. So I'm just going to write place value. But you should have it in a complete sentence, right? Okay, let's go to the next page. Page 3 of my notebook, but it's not page 3 for you. What page are you on right now? You should be on page 41, right? I hope anyway. Huh. Okay, we are going to do number 7 and number 8. All right, let's check it out. Read number 7 to yourself. All right, rounding. Oh my goodness. Wow. You probably have not been able to see my screen. Okay, so rounding. We've got to figure this out, you guys. The total season attendance for a college team's home games rounded to the nearest 10,000 was 270,000. We need the number to round to 270,000 when rounded to the nearest 10,000 in order to pick it. All right. So I'm going to put a number line down. And my first number that I'm going to place on my number line is 265,888. I'm using the space down here to work, but I'm still looking at this right here, up here. Okay, so 265,888. If I round that to the nearest 10,000, I would say, let's see, 260,000 would be on that endpoint, and 270,000 would be on that endpoint. I know the midpoint would be 265,000. Okay, so would 265,888 be closer to this endpoint or this endpoint? Well, it looks like we'd probably put it somewhere, I don't know, maybe over here. So 265,888 would go somewhere around there. So that means it would, in fact, round to 270,000. So that's a yes in our book. All right. Let's check out the next one, 7B. We have to figure out 260,987. Okay. So 260,000 would be on this endpoint, 270,000 over there, 265,000 in the middle again. All right. This number, 260,987, would be pretty close over here. So it would round to this number here. So that one is out. That's a no. All right. Let's see if I can just erase so I don't have to redraw the number line. There we go. Perfect. Okay, 274,999. 274,000. Ooh, let's check this out. So our endpoints will be 270,000 and 280,000. Oops, I need to squeak another zero in there. There we go. Okay, midpoint, 275,000. All right, 274,499 would go like literally, like practically touching that one right there, right? 274,499 would round there. So that's a yes. All right, and then 206,636. We don't even need to draw a number line. We know that it's going to be closest to 210,000. That's a no. All right. Number lines are so helpful when we're trying to round numbers. It's important to pick out what your midpoint would be and your endpoints. All right. Are you tired of hearing me talk yet? I know some of you said yes. Woo! Manners, you guys. Okay, so we're going to read the table. Read it to yourself. All right. So we're looking at the population of our state capital, Sacramento. And it says how many children are under 10 years old? Show your work. All right. Well, kids, are these people under 10 years old? Yep. Are these people under 10 years old? Yes. Are these people under 10 years old? No. It says under, so we can't include them, even though there's a group of people that are 10 years old. So we're going to be adding these guys together right there. All right, so it says we have to show our work. So I'm going to do my work out here. Just like I told you not to draw an arrow, and look what I just did. All right, here we go. 35,010 plus 31,406. All right, here we go. All right, so how many children are under 10 years old? Show your work. So I'm going to actually write, this is question number 8 over there, so my teacher will know. That's what that refers to. And I'm going to write 66,416 children are under 10 years old. Okay. So then the next question is, how many people are between the ages of 20 and 49? So I think you can do that because we did the first one together here, or we did number 8 together. And number 10 is related to those. So you guys can do those on your own. You can hit pause right now. Actually, I think this is a good stopping place. What do you think? All right, I'm going to stop right here so we can break up our review a little bit. And I'll see you for the next half of your review next time. All right, bye.